Hello everyone, and welcome to the latest segment of Nimitz Minitz. I'm Jeff Copsetta, and today we're going to talk about recycling during World War II. During World War II, we had to produce a massive amount of material. In fact, it was our industrial might that was our most formidable weapon during World War II. Now, our Rosie the Riveters had to produce thousands of planes, jeeps, and tanks, and millions of rounds of ammunition. And where did all this stuff come from? Like the tank you see behind me. This is an M3A1 Stuart tank. It's comprised of steel, brass, copper, and rubber. Well, a lot of this material came from you back home. Let's talk about some of the things that we recycled during World War II and how we converted it into war machines. For example, we have brass shell casings. Now, if you had an old brass doorknob or a brass door hinge at home and it didn't work anymore, perfect, we can use it. Melt it down, use it for brass shell casings. Copper. Now, copper was a little bit more of a rare commodity. So rare, in fact, that in 1943, we didn't even use copper for pennies anymore. We converted to steel, which we had a lot more of. But copper was very important because we needed it for copper jacketing on our rounds of ammunition. We used a lot of copper in our communications equipment that was in a lot of our vehicles. Just again, like the tank you see behind me, every vehicle had to have communications with other vehicles, and copper was used for a lot of communication equipment. We also used cooking grease for explosives. Now, I'm not going to go into how that was done, kids. I'd let you research that. It may be worth the Google. We also needed silk, and the reason we needed silk was because if you've ever had a piece of paper or your homework that got rained on, and then it deteriorated, it was no good. Well, we needed silk instead of paper for a lot of our more important documents, like the silk map that you see in front of me. This gets wet, it won't deteriorate at all. Also for parachutes, we would need silk parachutes for our air crews and our airborne paratroopers jumping out of those aircraft. Where did the silk come from? You guessed it. Ladies had to give up their silk stockings. Everything had to go to war. Old rubber tires. Don't throw them away. Use that old rubber tire, turn it in, and we can make new rubber tracks for our tanks. So kids, maybe next time before you throw something away, maybe it has another use. Maybe that old glass pickle jar Dad could use in the garage for extra nuts and bolts. And remember, planet Earth is only so big. So if we recycle now like we did during World War II, we can still make a difference. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for joining us on this latest segment of Nimitz Minitz.